Hi everyone, it's Kelly and welcome to my channel. Today's video is trying something new and a little out of my wheelhouse. It's the July blind box from Marker Universe, which basically means a mystery box of markers and supplies released each month. And the fun part is you never know what will be inside. And I love surprises, so I really wanted to try out this box. So let's jump right in and see what's in here and how I can use it. I did open the lid to make sure it was the blind box, but I'll be testing and creating for the first time on camera. I did notice when I opened it right away that there was an ink stain. Absolutely no big deal, but that's how mine arrived. I'm sure it bounced around during shipping and the end of the pen cap fell off, but I'm not even worried. Truthfully, there are two sides to the pen. Here, let's do a quick test. The pen color is gorgeous. Sometimes I make homemade tattoos. Just kidding. It's perfect. So back in the box it'll go for now. So the plan is to discover what's in here and how I can use it and create some art. I'm a card maker first, so that's where I'm heading. And one of the first things I do is swatch out the colors so I have a good reference when I'm working. I use an old Canson sketchbook. Surprise! Okay, this little masterpiece is my little granddaughter Alice. She's almost 2, and as you can see, I have some pretty stiff competition. I'll be keeping that page forever, so I'll start a new one. And the plan is to reach in, grab a product, and basically see what they sent. I know we are almost in August, so I'm going to have to get my hustle on and record this one for July. This marker is the Graph O twin-tipped marker with a, let's see, zero point 0.5 nib and a brush tip, and it's water-based, and the name of this one is Orchid. So when I'm swatching, I try to get a feel for how thin or thick the ends are and how I'll be able to use it for future coloring. And I also like to see if it will pass the paper and bleed through. So I go over it more than once and I check the reverse side. Looks good. So we're off to a good start. I like this. They also included a sticker, and this is the company, the Marker Universe, where I purchased the July blind box. I've also bought markers from them, and I'm always very happy. Next is a new to me pen, a Sakura Pigma Sensei 2.0 chisel tip. Well, the lid's on tight. This reminds me of a calligraphy pen with the chisel. I'm probably wrong, or maybe this is for drawing. Well, the challenge is to use everything in the box. So if I am going to accomplish that, I may have to experiment a little with this one. I'll have to put it to the side and figure it out along the way. So I'm going to speed this up so I can continue to do the swatches. This is a Tombow twin tone coral pink dual tip marker, great for bullet and fine tip work and small detail. It's also water based. Very nice. And this one is a beautiful cadmium red hue watercolor marker. It's from Winsor & Newton. I have some of their watercolors and they're fantastic. So I'll be curious to see how these color and pair with water. Oh, looks good. And here is a Tombow dual brush pen. I have a couple of these and they're awesome. I call them juicy pens. The ink is very generous. They're numbered and not named. So if you go to the Tombow website and you look up the number, it usually tells you, but don't quote that. Oh, here's another one, a beautiful blue. This one is number 401. Wow. Okay, so far this is the color to beat. This is a gorgeous color blue. It's almost piercing. Love, love, love. And here is another Tombow twin tone. This one is oh, matches my shirt. I'm not a big fan of pink. I know, and I'm wearing a pink shirt. This one is Princess Pink. It actually would be a very nice color combination with the Tombow Dual Brush, number 723. Very nice. These colors give me summer vibes with the bright blue and the coral and the pinks. And looking at them and seeing sunsets and lots of summer. Oh, okay, pretend you didn't see that. Good thing this is a sketchbook with watercolor paper. Now this I love. This is a Kiritake Zig Mangaka. This is 0.2, so it's a super fine tip. I believe they use this a lot for drawings, cartoonists, making graphic novels. It's nice because it's smudge resistant. Green, my favorite color. Here's another Grapho twin tip marker, and this one is called Forest. This is a little bit darker than the other colors so far, but it's beautiful. And here I have a Chameleon fine liner. This is one of their color change pens, which basically means color to color blending. This has a 0.3 tip and it's BL2 or baby blue. This would pair nicely with that blue Tombow number 401. And there's still more. This is a Chameleon fine liner, another one. And this one is number BL8 or slate blue. And let's see. Okay, here is the insert that explains the blind box and what the challenge is all about. And the last here is Express It Aqua Watercolor Heavyweight Paper. This stuff is super. It's 200 GSM, which basically means the grammage. The higher the number, the thicker the paper. They included 25 sheets, which is very generous. Okay, overall, this was packed with markers, and the colors are really beautiful. Let's see, I'll count them out in 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 12 markers, which is very generous. I love the colors. I'm going to try and organize them. It was driving me a little crazy that they were all out of order. So now that they're all lined up, I'm going to try and get an idea of what to do and how to create with all these colors. I think I have an idea. Okay, so the first thing here I decided to do using the product, was create a card. I'm a card maker first and I don't draw so often, so I used 1 sheet of the Express It paper. I stamped it with watercolor proof ink. It's easy to see the ridges along the side, what's the top and what's the bottom, or the hills and the valleys if you remember Art Class 101. I'm going to be using some brushes, some water, and just play around and experiment with all the markers and see which ones coordinate well together and just basically have fun with it. That's the idea anyway. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, the first one that I think I'm going to try is make a line so I can have some sky and some grass. So I would be using the Kiritake Zig .2 for that. I'm just going to create a baseline where the little girls are standing and use the Tombow for the arms and the legs and the skin. The super fine point is great since this is a very tiny area. And the colors lend themselves very well to skin tones, so I'm going to try blending it out with a little bit of water. I do love using this palette by putting the ink right into the well and then adding water as needed. You got to hold it down though. One thing I did once was reached in for some paint and it went flying. It just flipped right over and yeah, but I haven't done it since. Pretty simple watercoloring, then I heat dry it. And the hair is going to be another little bit of a challenge. So I decided to color this one as a pretty little redhead. I have a lot of those on my mom's side of the family. My kids are all blonde, but my cousins look like adorable tiny little Ed Sheerans. Next up, I'm going to use the Tombow for blonde hair and also try the wet on wet for the last hair. So far, it's going great. Next up, I'm going to color their dresses. I think I'm going to give one princess pink and also try moving it around with the water. And it does very well there. And then next I'm going to do with the blue and outline it with the Chameleon. And with the Tombow, use the water to give it a little more direction. Not sure what I will do with the third dress yet. Just put a little detailing with the Chameleon fine liner. Okay, so the dresses are done. I'm going to work on the grass using the Forest Grapho marker. Okay, I kind of second guessed putting the little lines in the grass because it didn't blend out as well as I had hoped, but this color is so vibrant and so pretty. As Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents. So we're just going to keep on rolling. After all, it's just grass. The colors are really, I'm trying to go for a gradient look here. So I often do more than one well of paint so I don't have to go back and remix it, have it ready at hand. I just love this color so much. It's such a vibrant, beautiful blue. This is pretty. And looks like we're done. Oh, sorry. For this last part, I was really hoping to use all of the markers in the box. So I used the Sakura pen and just colored over the sentiment stamp and just simply used the Misty and pressed it down and ta-da! It did come out a little bit thicker than a normal ink would, I'd say, but it's okay. I have to bring it right up to my eyeballs to see what it says. It says, "Let's be friends." Isn't that sweet? I am using some heavyweight 110-pound cardstock. I cut it in half, which is the base size, standard base size for an A2 card. And then using the Score Buddy, I'm simply scoring it. And what I really loved about this watercolor paper is it was already trimmed down to the size of an A2. Normally, I would have to use my trimmer and cut it to size, or I would use a stitch die or a designer die to accentuate the edges. But in order to keep in true fashion with the challenge, I decided not to use anything else and I skipped that part. I'm going to have to give it some glue, some extra glue, because it's a little watercolor wonky and I don't want it to pop up on any of the sides. And I really need to make sure that this super sticks down. I am so impressed with the size of this cardstock. Just, I love it. And it actually fits perfect right out of the package. So great job, Express It. And that's my project using the fun blind box from Marker Universe. I think this came out super cute and it's an awesome way to try new things and a new way to create with new products. If there's one that you wanted to try, this is a great option. And I found that all of these markers worked so well together and the colors were so beautiful. You can use them on their own, you can mix and match, you can add water, you can blend, you can use them for wet on wet painting, and the possibilities are just endless. The box is $30 a box, so that's not a bad cost, and the amount of markers inside, if you had bought them all individually, would be so much more. This to me was a summer splurge, a stay-at-home treat. It was a little out of my wheelhouse, but I have to say, I'm super thrilled that I gave it a try. I would definitely give the blind box another go, and I plan to even make a few more projects with this box. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, I'd love it if you could subscribe and give this a thumbs up. That would really help me out. Take care, stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Bye.